Point guard. The point guard position has always been the most difficult to judge because dominance does not always look loud on paper. Some guards score relentlessly, others pass surgically, and some bend the entire game without filling the box score. Early debates often start with names like John Stockton, whose 15,806 assists and 3,265 steals feel untouchable, or Steph Curry, whose shooting gravity forced defenses to abandon geometry altogether. Curry hit 402 threes in 2016, won 4 championships, and made off ball movement a weapon. But innovation is not the same as control. It gets crazier when championships enter the conversation because postseason basketball exposes weaknesses fast. In the early 1980s, one player arrived who looked nothing like a point guard. He stood 6'9", saw passing lanes before they existed, and treated pace like a weapon. As a rookie in the 1980 finals, he slid to center, dropped 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, added 7 assists, and closed a championship while winning finals MVP. Over an 11-season career, he reached 9 NBA finals, won 5 championships, and collected 3 regular season MVPs. His career average of 11.2 assists per game still sits highest all time. But that's not all. He controlled tempo, dictated confidence, and elevated teammates into stars. Defenses could not speed him up or slow him down. When compared to modern challengers, the contrast sharpens. Steph thrives without the ball, but needs spacing created for him to launch. Magic needed nothing except trust. When the debate finally strips away style trends, numbers, and nostalgia, it settles on orchestration, winning, and authority. The point guard who proved a championship could run through his hands and not break is Magic Johnson, whose blueprint still defines the position today. That legacy still fuels modern arguments, especially as scoring guards chase volume and spacing while teams search for leadership under pressure. Magic never averaged 25 points per game, yet his teams won relentlessly because mistakes vanished, possessions stabilized, and confidence spread. His finals appearance rate remains absurd in any era. When games tightened, he smiled, slowed everything down, and punished panic with precision passes, layups, and control. That calm authority explains why the conversation always circles back to him when winning matters most. It continues defining the position decades later, regardless of trends, rule changes, or viral debates about shooting volume and pace across basketball history that always prevails globally. Shooting guard. The shooting guard position has always lived on the edge of chaos because it demands constant pressure. Pressure to score, pressure to defend, and pressure to deliver when everything tightens. Many players flash brilliance. Dwayne Wade exploded in the 2006 finals, averaging 34.7 points and dragging Miami to a title with relentless downhill attacks. Kobe Bryant built a career on impossible shots, averaging 35.4 points in 2006 and dropping 81 in a single night. But highlights fade. What separates legends is sustained dominance against prepared defenses. One player entered the league during the most physical era imaginable and immediately bent it to his will. Hand-checking was legal. Paints were crowded, yet he still led the league in scoring 10 times. In the playoffs, where efficiency usually drops, he averaged 33.4 points per game, the highest postseason scoring average ever recorded. It gets worse for everyone else when defense enters the picture. This same player made 9 all-defensive first teams while guarding the opponent's best perimeter threat nightly. Championships followed, 6 finals appearances, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, no game 7s, no collapses, just control. His 63-point playoff performance against Boston in 1986 forced Larry Bird to call him God, disguised as Michael Jordan. Teams changed entire schemes simply to survive him. Unlike other elite scorers, he did not hunt shots. He hunted moments. When the game slowed, he sped up. When defenses crowded, he elevated. When the last shot arrived, he demanded it and delivered repeatedly. The intimidation factor mattered. Opponents played tighter before tip-off. Coaches burned timeouts early. Entire franchises defined eras by failing to stop him. Even before his first championship, many already believed the debate was over. After the final shot in 1998, it was settled. Statistics reinforce it further across eras. He averaged 30.1 points for his career, shot 49.7% from the field, and posted a playoff usage rate unmatched for efficiency. His Bulls never lost 3 straight playoff games with him active. When stakes rose, turnovers dropped, and closing runs followed with frightening consistency. The shooting guard position has never again produced a player who combines scoring, defense, winning, and psychological dominance at this level. Michael Jordan did not just master the role, he ended the discussion forever. Small forward. The small forward position has always carried the heaviest expectations because it asks one player to do everything at once: score, pass, defend, rebound, and lead without slowing the offense. Larry Bird once owned this role, winning 3 straight MVPs while averaging 24.3 points, 10 rebounds, and 6.3 assists, and his shooting touch terrified defenses. Kevin Durant brought unmatched efficiency, shooting near 50% from the field and winning 2 Finals MVPs with unstoppable shot creation. Kawhi Leonard added elite defense, winning Finals MVP with 2 franchises while locking down the best scorers alive. But greatness at this position is not just peak dominance, it is endurance. One player carried rosters through constant pressure for nearly 2 decades. From 2011 through 2018, he reached 8 straight NBA Finals despite changing teammates, coaches, and systems. He averaged over 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists for his career, numbers never seen together at this position. He won 4 championships, 4 Finals MVPs, and 4 regular season MVPs while defending every position on the floor. But that's not all. He delivered one of the most iconic moments in league history with a chase down block in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, sealing Cleveland's first title in 52 years. He became the all-time leading scorer while also ranking top 5 in assists, blending volume and playmaking like no one before him. His durability allowed dominance into his late 30s as his game adapted with age. Critics point to the 2011 Finals as a stain, yet it remains the only poor playoff series in a career filled with deep runs. Leadership, longevity, and versatility eventually outweigh style debates and era arguments. His influence stretched beyond the court, shaping modern player movement, media power, and longevity expectation, while forcing front offices to rethink roster building around versatility and durability rather than specialization alone. Year after year, he answered physical defense, rule changes, and shifting narratives with production that refused to dip, keeping him central to every serious conversation about basketball greatness. That consistency is rare, uncomfortable for critics, and impossible to ignore across generations and eras of fans worldwide. When every variable is weighed honestly, the small forward conversation always settles on LeBron James as the standard by which everyone else is measured. Power forward. The power forward position sits at the crossroads of force and finesse, demanding physical dominance without sacrificing skill or decision-making. For decades, greatness here looked different depending on era. Charles Barkley overwhelmed opponents despite standing only 6'5", averaging 22.1 points and 11.7 rebounds while bullying bigger defenders nightly. Karl Malone punished defenses for 18 seasons, scoring 36,928 career points and thriving as both a transition monster and a post scorer. Kevin Garnett brought intensity and versatility, averaging 20.8 points, 10.0 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks while anchoring elite defenses and winning both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Dirk Nowitzki shattered stereotypes, becoming a 7-footer with guard footwork, over 31,000 career points, and a 2011 playoff run that dismantled super teams. But greatness at this position is not only about skill or production. It is about reliability when games slow down and margins disappear. One player delivered that every single year. Over 19 seasons, he built a resume defined by consistency and winning. He captured 5 championships, reached 6 NBA Finals, and earned 15 All-NBA selections, while anchoring one of the most disciplined defensive systems ever built. His career averages of 19.0 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks came without chasing numbers or dominating usage. It gets crazier when his playoff impact is isolated. In the 2003 Finals, he averaged 24 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5.3 blocks per game, nearly averaging a quadruple-double on the biggest stage imaginable. Defensively, he guarded centers, wings, and guards with equal effectiveness, funneling drives and erasing mistakes with positioning rather than athletic excess. His teams won over 1,000 games during his career, more than any other franchise across that span. While others burned brighter for shorter stretches, he delivered excellence year after year with no volatility. Coaches trusted him. Teammates leaned on him. Opponents dreaded him. When the conversation strips away highlight culture and focuses on winning impact, adaptability, and longevity, the answer becomes unavoidable. Tim Duncan did not redefine the power forward position loudly. He perfected it quietly, relentlessly, and with a level of sustained success that no challenger has ever truly matched. Center. The center position has always been the league's pressure point, where size, dominance, and legacy collide. Early greatness looked overwhelming, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points and 25.7 rebounds in a single season and once scored 100 points, numbers that still feel fictional. Bill Russell flipped the conversation entirely, winning 11 championships in 13 seasons and proving defense could anchor dynasties. Shaquille O'Neal brought raw force, averaging roughly 30 points and 15 rebounds in playoff runs while forcing rule changes because no single defender could survive him. Hakeem Olajuwon blended elegance with destruction, finishing first all-time in blocks and ranking top 10 in steals while embarrassing centers with footwork and touch. But center greatness is not just about peak intimidation. It is about sustaining impact as the league changes. One player managed that better than anyone. He dominated the 1970s with speed, agility, and scoring, regularly averaging over 30 points and 15 rebounds while controlling games without brute force. As the league shifted, he adapted. He won championships as the focal point and later as a secondary star without decline. His career totals tell the story clearly. 38,387 points, 20 years of elite production, 6 championships, 6 regular season MVPs, career averages of 24.6 points, 11.2 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. But that's not all. His signature shot was unblockable, turning efficiency into inevitability. Defenses knew what was coming and still failed. Longevity separated him from rivals who burned hotter but faded faster. Even late in his career, he remained a matchup problem, anchoring lineups and closing games. Critics argue for Shaq's peak or Hakeem's skill, and those debates hold weight, but neither sustained dominance across decades the same way. Championships followed him across eras, teammates, and systems, something no other center replicated. When awards, production, adaptability, and winning are weighed together, the conversation settles. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stands as the benchmark for the center position, a standard built not on moments alone, but on a career that refused to bend to time, trend, or competition at any stage. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you will like this next one, so check it out.